Hey, I gotta show you this. It's a bit of an issue. It's an interesting issue too. So check this out. So here I am on the Ford website, 41 Mach-E's within 50 miles. And they'll call the first place, it looks like they have 4 different options. One of them is dealer ordered, so it looks like they should have 3. I'll give them a call.
Thank you for choosing Ford Lincoln of Fairfield.
I'm wondering if you have any of the Mach-E's available.
I get Mach-E's in every week. I can put you on a waiting list, but all the Mach-E's we're getting for 2022 and 2023 are all going to be special orders.
Got it.
People who've gone in through Ford.com and built out their Mach-E.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you very much. That's useful.
You're very welcome.
Cheers. Yeah, so there you go. You know, we've just wrapped up this road trip around the entirety of the Western U.S. in our Ford Mustang Mach-E. And we did this whole series of videos showing you what that was like. But the most common question that we got all along the way was, how did you get that car? People literally ran out in the street to ask us how we got our car. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, so that's the biggest problem with me right now. If you ask me what is the biggest challenge right now with EVs, is that there's just not enough of them to meet the demand. So dealers are marking them up. We paid a markup on ours. And you're like long pre-order wait lists, and you can't just get them. Like you can't, I think people are used to just going and buying a car or trying out a car at least, but you just can't do that really with this. And this isn't just a challenge for Mustangs. I had a friend send me an email and say, hey, what EV should I get? And how do I get it? And so I didn't really have a good answer for that because we got lucky. I'll come back to that story of how we got lucky. But in the meantime, to get a good answer to that of what EV you should get and how you should get it, I reached out to a friend who works at a company called Link, and I sat down with their CEO to talk about EVs and EV buying right now. And I wanted to share just some highlights from that conversation in hope that it helps you as you kind of consider buying and getting into an EV. Disclosures, I'm not being paid or compensated anyway for this. This is just genuinely, I want to help people get into EVs. These guys do that, and so I want to ask them questions about what their advice is to help you get into an EV. So Nathan, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
We founded Link about a year ago, and our mission is to make it easier than ever to find, buy, and love your first electric car. The way we look at it is, you got to make sure that electric is going to work for you. We think that it can work for the vast majority of people and the vast majority of driving, but you got to know how your driving is going to fit with that. So that's the first step. The second step, obviously, is which car do you want? And that's the usual things like, do I want four-wheel drive? Do I want 360 surround camera? All these different features and driving technologies available today. And then third, because supply is still ramping up in these new and really popular electric models, you got to figure out kind of what your timeline is so that you can figure out your strategy for, am I trying to find one on a lot today, or can I place an order and then kind of see if I find one sooner as I wait for that order to come through. So if you have more time, you have a bit more likelihood of finding that Mach-E or that ID4 that can be pretty scarce on the lot these days.
A piece of advice is that like totally gone out the window for us, right? So I was told as a kid, never buy a new car. You drive it off the lot, it loses all its value. And I was told, and if you do get a new car, lease it because then you retain that value. Effectively, you're just renting the car, right? Basically, or close to it. And then here we are, and we've bought a new car. Are we crazy? Is that like old advice still hold true? Like, tell me about those old kind of car buying guides.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a unique moment because there are just like new electric cars with unique capabilities that were not available a couple years ago, and that can be a great reason to go and get a new car. And I think one way to think about the federal tax credit is that $7,500 takes a lot of the sting out of that initial depreciation. So that can make you feel a lot better about buying that new car. The one thing I'd say is that as batteries have matured, as they've been manufactured at gigawatt scale, as we've seen more and more driving data from electric cars, I think you shouldn't feel that you need to lease in order to avoid risk around the technology. I think that you can feel great that your Mach-E battery or another one that you might go out and get is going to last probably longer than a lot of traditional powertrains because it's it's very simple battery, electric motor, and the maintenance is going to be low. So, a lease could make sense for you personally, but I don't think you need to do that out of fear that the technology is not ready.
Talk me through that infrastructure stuff. So it's going to be getting better, but like, where is it now? Do you think, like, how lucky did we get in terms of never getting into trouble on a 5,500 mile road trip?
Well, I think we are seeing the growing pains of this new infrastructure. Ford, has the Mach-E Charge Angels, the folks that I don't know.
I haven't heard.
No,
Not
heard of this. So they've actually sent some folks out on their own Mach-E road trips, and to kind of QA the charging network. And the Ford has partnered with folks like Electrify America and others to build this charger network that you have access to as a Mach-E driver. And so they want to basically QA that to make sure that the experience is kind of up to their standard. I think it's natural in building out infrastructure for this to happen. And for people who are, thinking about, is this the right time? Should I wait? As I said, it's only going to get better. And every day you wait is a day you're paying for gas and not enjoying the smooth, fast ride of electric. So
yeah.
I'd say don't wait because of this concern, because it's going to get easier every day.
I'll put a link to them and another EV shopping assistant site that I found. I'll put that in the description-y thing now. Now, I want to cut to the story of how we got our Mach-E, and I'll let the person who actually did the magic tell the story.
Hello, I'm Susan Cohen, and George and I are the mom of Alana and the mom-in-law and dad-in-law of Weldon Kennedy. And I'm happy to say that Weldon gave us a heads up before they were about to depart from Africa, that there were three possible electric vehicles that they wanted: a Tesla, a Kia, and a Ford Mustang Mach-E, California Route Highway 1. And so I started calling dealers, and they almost laughed at me. And it turned out no Teslas, Kias, not till the spring, but one dealer out of 4 in San Mateo, an hour from us, had one red Mustang Mach-E. I said, that's for us. We're going to come down there. And then I said, as soon as George, my husband, comes home, we're coming down. And so George came home. I said, change your clothes. We're going to San Mateo right now. And so on the way down, the dealer called us to make sure we were coming. And once we arrived there were 2 people who came in that wanted to buy it. One was doing a test drive in our car. And I said, no, that's our car. Anyhow, a week before they arrived in the Bay Area, we were able to secure a beautiful red Ford Mustang Mach-E California 1. And when they arrived, there it was. And Lyndon loves it. Mwah! Go buy, everybody. Go buy a Mustang.